I went from 96 kg to 72 kg in 2024. I tracked my calories, focused on protein and macros, maintained a sustainable deficit, used supplement wisely, added a light physical activity daily. So today I want to talk about the advanced scientific way of weight loss. So before that, I want to share my personal weight loss journey. Back in 2021, when I was 14 years old, my body weight was 82 kg. And according to the BMI, body mass index, it is considered as overweight. And that is definitely not good for health. And my sister was also overweight, so we decided to lose weight at the same time. My sister dieted only for one day and the next day she gave up. After that, I continued my diet and I was just experimenting on myself, sometimes eating less, skipping meals, but it didn't work actually. I didn't lose much weight, so I also gave up. By 2022, my body weight had increased to 96 kg, and that's when I realized something crucial about weight loss. Weight loss isn't just about following a simple diet or calorie deficit actually. It requires a mental strength. Actually, it's a pursuit actually. It requires a mental strength, discipline and strong scientific guideline. So at the beginning of 2023, I started my weight loss journey again. And in this time, in a fully scientific way and advanced way. I studied nutrition, metabolism, and exercise physiology. I learned how calorie balance work and how hormone can affect on the fat storage. And how the structure training can accelerate the fat loss without losing the muscles actually. We will talk to you about this topic. Instead of random dieting, I focused on actually evidence-based dieting actually, and in this video I will explain to you in every strategy in depth. So let's get started. Understanding BMI and the health risks. Let's start with the basics. BMI, that refers to body mass index. BMI is equal to weight divided by height square. For example, when I was 96 kg and my height is 1.67 meter, my BMI was 34.4, which is considered in the obese range. Now BMI is not perfect, it cannot measure our muscle mass, but it is a useful indicator for our population health. Studies show that higher BMI increases the risk of cancers, diabetes, heart diseases, and joint problems. So it is very important to maintain a good BMI around to be 18.5 to 24.9. The foundation, energy balance. At the core of fat loss lies on energy balance. Calories in, everything you drink and eat. Calories out, everything your body burns. But calories out has 4 layers. Number 1, basal metabolic rate, the energy just to stay alive. Thermic effect of food, calorie burned, digesting food. Non-exercise activity, thermogenesis, walking, standing. Exercise activity, workouts and sports. To lose weight, you need a calorie deficit, eating less than you burn. According to the scientific research, 7700 calories is equal to 1 kg of fat. That means if your calorie deficit is 500 calories per day, you will lose around to 0.45 to 0.5 kg per week. Let's talk about BMR and calculate my previous BMR. The basal metabolic rate is the amount of energy needed while resting in a temperate environment while digestive system is inactive. In such a state, the energy will be used by only the vital organs. For most people, 70% of energy burned each day due to the BMR. Physical activity makes up 20% of expenditure and 10% is used due to the digestion of food, also known as the thermogenesis process. To calculate the BMR, we will use two equations. One, Harris-Benedict equation, and second is Mifflin-Stasier equation. According to the scientific research, the Mifflin-Stasier equation is more accurate than the Harris-Benedict equation. Let's calculate my BMR when I was 96 kg. From the Harris-Benedict equation, my BMR was 2063 calories per day, and from the Mifflin-Stasier equation, my BMR was 1968 calories per day. Different equation gives slightly different results, but on average, my body required 1900 to 2000 calories per day. Since I was leading a sedentary lifestyle, by multiplying 1.2 gives a maintenance calorie and intake around 2300 to 2400 calories per day. Fat loss math. We know that 7700 calories is equal to 1 kg of body fat. That means if I create a deficit of 1000 calories per day, I will lose around 1 kg per week. And that will only happen if your metabolic function is perfect. Otherwise, it will not happen. But remember that cutting calories too aggressively leads to the muscle loss and metabolic slowdown. It's also known as the adaptive thermogenesis. So the scientific sweet spot is 15 to 25% of calorie deficit for sustainable fat loss. Macronutrient balance. Calorie matters, but macronutrient distribution is equally important. Number 1, protein. Try to intake 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per body weight. It will help to preserve your muscles during the calorie deficit. It will improve your metabolic function as the thermic effect of protein is 20 to 30%. Number 2, carbohydrate. I actually focused on complex carbohydrate with low glycemic index, example oats, sweet potatoes, and brown rice. They digest slowly, prevent insulin spike, and keep my energy stable. Number 3, fats. Around 20 to 30% calories from fats, sources like olive oil, chia seeds, and fatty fish. That supports hormones like testosterone and leptin that regulates the fat loss. Thermic effect of food. For protein, 20 to 30% calories burned during digestion. For carbohydrate, it's 5 to 10%, and for fat, it's 0 to 3% only. That's why protein-rich diet accelerates the fat loss process. Calorie deficit myth. A big myth is that if you overeat only for one day, your diet is ruined. But that's completely wrong actually. Actually, weight loss depends on the monthly and weekly calorie balance, not a single day balance actually. So it's completely wrong if you overeat for only one day, your diet is ruined. Let me give you a mathematical calculation example. Suppose my daily maintenance calorie were 2400 and I was eating 1900 calories per day. So my daily deficit 500 calories. Over 6 days, I maintained 3000 calories deficit. But on the 7th day, I overeat and consumed 3000 calories instead of 1900. That means I consumed 600 more calories on that day. Now calculate for the weekly deficit, and my weekly deficit is 3000 minus 600 is equal to 2400 calorie deficit. This weekly deficit is still equal to around 0.3 kilogram fat loss per week. So even after a cheat day, I'm still losing fat, but just a little slower actually. That's why consistency over weeks and months matters far more than perfection every single day. Food that accelerate fat loss. Some food naturally help fat loss because of low calorie density, thermogenetic effect, but these don't magically burn fat, they make the calorie deficit much easier actually. Green tea and black tea contains catechins and caffeine that slightly increase the fat oxidation. Coffee boosts metabolic rate and support fat mobilization. Yogurt and probiotics support a healthy gut microbiome, which is strongly linked to better weight regulation. Apple cider vinegar, also known as ACV. Research shows that it may improve the insulin sensitivity, slow digestion, reduce appetite, and help control the blood sugar spikes. These foods don't replace the calorie deficit, but they make the fat loss easier, more sustainable, and healthier. Supplements I used. In my journey, I kept supplements very simple and evidence-based. I only used vitamin D for hormonal balance and overall health, a qualitative multivitamin to cover micronutrients gaps, calcium to support my bone health during calorie deficit. But remember, supplements are not magic. They only play a small role. Diet, activity, and consistency are 90%. And most importantly, always consult your doctor before taking any type of supplement to ensure the right doses and safety for your body. Always remember that. Physical activity. Even though I lead a sedentary lifestyle, I made one powerful change. I walked 10,000 steps per day. On average, 10,000 steps can burn around to be 400 to 500 calories per day. But the simple habit boosted my daily energy expenditure and kept me consistent. Science shows that the non-exercise activity thermogenesis like walking, standing, and moving more throughout the day burns far more calories long-term than relying only for a short, intense workout. My results. By applying this principle in 2023, I tracked my calories, focused on protein and macros, maintained a sustainable deficit, used supplement wisely, added a light physical activity daily. And as a result, I went from 96 kg to 72 kg in 2024. That's a huge achievement for me. And my final message, weight loss is not about shortcut, it's about science, mental strength, and discipline. It's not about losing weight quickly, it's about losing fat, preserving muscles, and staying healthy in long term. And this is the real power of advanced scientific weight loss. Thank you for watching the video. Stay healthy, stay strong, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.